Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Ohio's 12th District for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here today. My first question is for Ms. Smeller. Thank you for being here. In your testimony, you state that in-plant piping regulation by PHMSA is duplicative to safety programs under the jurisdiction of OSHA. Can you elaborate on the requirements in-plant pipes must comply with under OSHA's process safety management standards?
Thank you for the question. We do appreciate this committee's consideration of the opportunity to bring legislative certainty to eliminating the duplication. So OSHA's pipeline safety management system does have requirements that include, for example, making sure that we have written operating procedures for covered processes, for maintaining integrity, for managing change. We would note that that PHMSA itself has acknowledged that the OSHA safety management imposed on gas in-plant piping is of a similar quality to what PHMSA itself would be requiring. And the duplication of that effort it's cumbersome. It brings not only duplicated demand for resources, but there can be inconsistencies. I would highlight, for example, one of the things is that we have inspectors from each of the agencies who are reviewing our operations. And when they do so, they come with different experience, different subject matter expertise. So the OSHA inspectors have familiarity with inspecting implants, for example, in refineries. The PHMSA inspectors have more experience inspecting interstate pipe transmission lines, for example. And so that the opportunity to have engage with a regulator who has more experience with in-plant piping brings more consistency and efficient use of resources that can be applied to other safety matters.
Thank you. Can you discuss the challenges your members have in ensuring safe operations when two different federal regulators are overseeing the same piping?
Thank you. I would repeat then that it is the complication of having two potentially inconsistent sets of requirements standing up two programs to be able to achieve similar safety desired outcomes, but through different means, with different types of inspections, different requirements, which is just a drain on resources and can be inconsistent or contradictory.
Would you say this conflict and regulatory overlap, like in the case of in-plant pipes, make it more confusing and challenging to maintain safe operations for GPA Midstream members?
I would.
You also wrote in your testimony that PHMSA is rightfully taking action with the recent notice of proposed rulemaking. Tough position here, I can't say it. Proposed rulemaking to alleviate this regulatory uncertainty regarding in-plant gas piping. Would you agree that while the agency's proposal is welcome and necessary, Congress can and should still act to remedy this issue with a statutory fix to provide certainty for industry now and into the future?
Absolutely. Yes, the notice of proposed rulemaking from PHMSA is a great start, but we would appreciate Congress making that permanent. Our members appreciate legislative predictability and certainty so they can plan for long-term operations.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Mr. Black, and I want to be, I have a minute 23. Follow up with you. Last Congress, this committee passed a strong pipeline safety reauthorization that strengthened penalties on the individuals that damage, destroy, or impair the operation of pipeline facilities. I've heard from a number of pipeline workers and operators in my district who have strong concerns about worker safety due to increase in attacks and vandalism on pipelines over the last several years. Mr. Black, can you discuss why it's so important for Congress to choose loopholes and strengthen penalties on individuals that attack pipelines? And follow up, would doing so help protect the safety and security of your members, employees, and pipeline workers?
Actions that tamper with the pipeline risk hurting the people who live nearby, the perpetrators themselves, and the environment. We've seen people cutting through chains to turn valves, shooting pipeline components before they are installed, and shooting using blowtorch on pipelines. Congress said no criminal penalties in the pipeline safety law for damaging or destroying, but there's a loophole. If you tamper with a pipeline but don't immediately damage or destroy it, It's not covered by the federal pipeline safety laws. If you cover that, if you take that action to close that loophole, you will protect the environment and the workforce around those. And we would encourage you to do that in your reauthorization.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.